She used to beat him, abuse him all the time.
What would you hear?
Stop it. One time, last summer, he yelled at me, "Please call the cops, Jim. Please call the cops." And I did, but I guess he didn't want to do nothing about it.
Kensington, Philadelphia. Early morning, May 22nd, 2026. A man searching for scrap metal is working his way through the narrow back streets the way he does most mornings, looking for anything worth salvaging. Nothing unusual, just another day. Then he sees it, a suitcase, sitting in the alley on East Hilton Street near E Street. Something about it stops him. Maybe it is the smell, maybe it is something else entirely, but he stops. He looks closer. Inside that suitcase is a human torso. He calls the police. Officers respond and find more human remains nearby, in 2 large trash bags, decomposing, discarded, left in an alley like garbage. That is how the world found out about Vincent Good. Vincent Good was 53 years old. He lived in Northeast Philadelphia. He was a partial amputee. His right hand had been amputated above the wrist and his left leg below the knee. Because of those disabilities, he used a wheelchair. He needed help, real help, daily care, someone to be there. His family described him as kind and funny, the kind of man who gave nicknames to everyone he knew. A man with warmth and humor who, despite everything his body had been through, still made the people around him smile. He trusted people. He had to. That was the reality of his life. And that trust, that vulnerability, is exactly what was used against him. Because Vincent Good was not living alone. He had a caregiver, a woman who had been hired specifically to look after him, a woman who was being paid to make sure he was safe. Her name was Liza Ridley. Liza Ridley was 53 years old. She was Vincent Good's caregiver. She was also, according to investigators, his girlfriend. She lived in his home. She was woven into the fabric of his daily life. The person he depended on, the person he presumably trusted with everything. Neighbors confirmed it. One neighbor, Jim Gutierrez, told NBC 10 simply, she would take care of him.
News is breaking at this hour as the district attorney just laid out the charges in this case. The victim has now been identified as 53-year-old Vincent Good of Northeast Philadelphia. We've just learned his girlfriend is among those who've been charged.
The Action News reporter Becca Hendrickson live now in Center City with more on what authorities just revealed about this case, Becca.
Brian and Sarah, this suspect was not only described as his girlfriend, but his paid caretaker, too. Good was an amputee who, according to the district attorney's office, needed care. And police say his girlfriend, 53-year-old, Liza Ridley, is accused of killing him and then taking a lift to get rid of his body. That Lyft driver was crucial in breaking this case. Take a look at some of our video. This is 53-year-old Vincent Good from Northeast Philadelphia. He was a double amputee whose family says he was funny and kind. He was found dead in a suitcase in Kensington last week. The district attorney's office says Good's girlfriend and caretaker, 53-year-old Liza Ridley, is facing homicide charges for his death. Investigators say she confessed to shooting him in the head. 3 other people are also facing charges. Ridley's sister, 55-year-old Bernadette Ridley, is charged with abuse of a corpse. And Liza's daughter, 32-year-old Liza Robinson, and her boyfriend, 33-year-old Nas Daniel, are also facing charges. Police say Good was found last Friday on the 600 block of East Hilton Street in Kensington. A person looking for scrap metal found his torso in a suitcase. The medical examiner says Good died from multiple gunshot wounds. Police also recovered human remains in trash bags. The investigation led police to Good in his apartment on the 5700 block of Leonard Street in Northeast Philadelphia yesterday. Neighbors say the apartment had a history of chaotic domestic violence. The district attorney said, here's what cracked the case. A Lyft driver, she believes she drove Ridley with the body in the suitcase from the Northeast to where the body was found in Kensington the Thursday before it was found.
In the wheelchair, and they were on the 2nd floor. He didn't come out often.
She used to beat him, abuse him all the time.
What would you hear?
Stop it. One time, last summer, he yelled at me, "Please call the cops, Jim. Please call the cops." And I did, but I guess he didn't want to do nothing about it.
Liza Ridley shot Vincent Good, not once, multiple times. The medical examiner confirmed he died from numerous gunshot wounds. She shot the man she was paid to protect, the man she called her boyfriend, the man who could not run, the man who could not fight back the way an able-bodied person could. She shot him dead. And then, instead of calling 911, she called her family. What followed was a coordinated effort to make Vincent Good disappear. His body was dismembered. His remains were packed into a suitcase and 2 large trash bags. Liza Ridley's daughter allegedly provided a rideshare, an Uber or Lyft, to transport the suitcase containing Vincent's remains out of the house. The driver who transported that suitcase later told investigators he noticed a horrible smell during the ride. He did not know what he was carrying. He only put it together later when he saw news coverage of the case, and then he called police. That phone call helped crack this case wide open.
The bag that she took was placed in the back of that Lyft vehicle. The Lyft driver immediately smelled a horrible smell, asked about the smell. The answer to that question was, "Oh, I'm sorry, it's dirty, wet clothes." In response to that, she didn't say anything. She finished the Lyft drive, dropped off the individual, took a picture of her because she thought it was so odd, everything about it.
That was critical again in solving this case. Police do believe Good was killed more than 2 weeks ago, and this odor coming from that suitcase was very strong. His body is being sent to a forensic anthropologist to try to determine that exact time of death. Now, investigators do believe that money from Social Security checks may have been a motivation here. Again,
meanwhile, back at the house, Bernadette Ridley and her daughter's boyfriend allegedly scrubbed the property clean and removed the mattress, destroying evidence of what had happened in that home. They thought they had gotten away with it. They had not. Investigators traced the rideshare back to the Ridley household. When detectives confronted Liza Ridley, she initially lied, but the evidence was already stacked against her. Eventually, she confessed, admitting that she had shot Vincent Good in the head. On May 28, 2026, the Philadelphia District Attorney's Office announced charges. Liza Ridley, 53, was charged with murder and related crimes. Her sister Bernadette Ridley, 55, was charged with abuse of a corpse and related crimes. Her daughter, 32, and her daughter's boyfriend, 33, face additional charges connected to the cover-up. Vincent Good was 53 years old. He gave everyone he met a nickname. He made people laugh. He navigated a world that was not built for his body with humor and grace, and he trusted the people around him because he had to. The woman who was paid to keep him alive shot him dead. Her family helped hide the evidence, and his remains sat in a suitcase in a Kensington alley until a stranger stumbled upon them one morning. 4 people are now charged, but no charge brings Vincent back. Share this video. Say his name. Subscribe for updates as this case moves through the courts. Justice for Vincent Good. Thank you for watching.